afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Brian Poduska. You are watching Real Talk on The Difference. I am the creator of The Difference. I am Lyndon Wilson, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We got a great show. Brian's got some incredible guests. We have Greg Holberg today, and we have Julie Gregorish. I think I have that right. I probably didn't, but hopefully I can get that cleared up later. But before we get started, before I bring Brian in, I want to remind everybody of our giveaway. We are doing airfare and hotel for two. And if you comment today, if you comment on this show in the comment box and you mention Brian Poduska, we're going to reach out to you and tell you how you can get entered for airfare and hotel for two. 23 different destinations here in the continental U.S. The winner is responsible for your own taxes and a processing fee, usually around $25. So just wanted to let you guys know that. I also want to remind you, I'm going to put this up really quick, to follow Brian, follow his show. If you are an investor looking for some property management help, this QR code will lead you right to every place that Brian is associated with. So you can reach out to him and get connected with him as well. So having said that, I'm going to bring the man of the hour in now with me, and that's going to be the one and only Brian Poduska. How are you doing, Brian?
Lennon, this week has been absolutely bananas. So the fact that I'm actually upright right now, I'm happy about. It's I was up at really about 3 a.m. this morning is finally when I laid my head on the pillow. So
wow.
If I look a little foggy or if I'm a little slow today, forgive me. But
how are we going to know the difference?
Hey, it's I guess it's my makeup. I don't know.
Okay. I had to do it, man. You hit me all the time every time I make a mistake. So you opened the door on that one. I had to get you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. That's what we do.
That's what we do. That's what makes it fun. Tell me about your guest today. Who we got?
Yeah, we've got great lineup. We've got our sponsor, our regular sponsor, is making a live appearance today, Mr. Greg Holberg, Liberator Insurance. So we'll bring him on to talk about Liberator a bit and get him in the conversation. And then we have great guest Julie Gregorish, who is in my networking group regular networking group on Tuesdays. And she has an awesome service that really opened my eyes when we sat down and did a face-to-face a few weeks ago. So I wanted to bring Julie on to, share that information, what she can do for small businesses really very quickly and really for free to start out with as far as analytics go. So I wanted her to come on and just share that, give her an opportunity to talk about that. So those are our guests. We've got sponsorship reads that we'll do for our other sponsors as well. Of course, always looking for sponsorship opportunities as well. If anybody out there is interested in doing so, we have slots open for that as well. But real quick, let me talk about Real Property Management since that's my company. So I'll give it a little bit of airtime. So we are a full-service property management company. And when I say full service, I mean from the very beginning when you're even thinking about potentially getting into real estate investing. We have some pretty unique tools to do some analytics on potential properties that you might invest in. So when I say that, it's not just looking at cash flow, it's taking a full holistic approach at analyzing a property and how it would add value to your portfolio. And what I mean by that is, taking into account tax benefits through depreciation, very market specific appreciation. Obviously, cash flow is one of the key metrics, and every single return on investment that you can think of, cash on cash, all the different metrics that you can think of. So that's the identification and analysis piece. We are a full service brokerage as well, so we can help you after we identify a property. We can actually help you purchase it, and then obviously, as the name suggests, we can manage it for you throughout the entire process. And then at the back end, when you're ready to cash out, we can sell it for you. So that is essentially real property management focus, where we focus on real estate investments in a nutshell. So that is us. We've talked about some of the fun events that we've faced in the property management industry here over the last couple months. Well, heck, over the last year and a half with COVID, but more specifically to the last weather events that we've had. So, I think we're mostly through those things, though. I will say I've had, part of the reason I haven't had much sleep lately is we've got a lot of new listings and new properties that we've got on market. We've obtained, and we're now marketing and filling with tenants. But what I've noticed in the marketplace is there's a very, very large need for short-term rentals, and that's a fallout from the winter storms that happened, a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's created a unique need and a challenge for the folks that are in that situation to find owners and investors that have a situation like that. So for those who are listening who are in that situation, there is hope, because we have had many discussions with owners who have changed their model a bit to accommodate that need. So if you're in that situation, don't despair, because the opportunity is there. You just need to find the right owners to work with. So if you are in that situation, certainly reach out to us. We can at least help. If we can't help directly, we can at least help connect some dots for you.
Awesome. Oh yeah, it's funny you said that, because I live in I'm in a condo here in Rockwall, and I don't know how many units are here, but there's hundreds, and 60% of them were damaged after the water damage after the snowmageddon hit us. And I mean, there's people still not moved back into their unit yet. It's been, there's more trash dumpsters here than there are cars. So
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, anywhere you go, if you're driving up and down the freeway, or driving past large buildings like yours, Landon, or whether it's a residential or a commercial building, you're going to see a lot of those, restoration company trucks still in the parking lot. So ServPro,
Yep.
They've got the big green trucks. You'll see those. I saw them at the Star driving by the other day. So those guys are out in full force trying to get everything back to working order. But unfortunately, that's in most cases a months, plural, long process. So
right.
And that's where we've gotten many calls about people in that, looking for that. They've been living in temporary living situations, either in a hotel or an extended living hotel. And it's just not sustainable for somebody who has a larger family and pets and everything else. So, again, if you're in that situation, reach out to us. And if we can't help you directly, we can, at least hopefully connect some dots for you.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So you want to talk about your sponsors now, or you want to go to your guest?
Yeah, let's bring Greg on and let him talk about his business. He is one of our key sponsors, so let's bring him in. What's up, Greg? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Great.
With you.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you coming in. So Greg, for those of you who are new to the show, but if you're not new, you've heard all about Greg, the owner of Liberator Health Insurance. As you know, we feature a weekly deal for you, Greg. Lennon, why don't you pull up the screen with the weekly deal? And Greg, I'll let you take it from here, and we can talk a little bit about your offering after you talk about it.
Sure. Just let me kind of go through this quickly. Basically, what I do is I try and offer a simple solution to affordable healthcare. Healthcare has been really, really convoluted lately. You need health insurance if you're a independent business person, and one of the big expenses you're going to have, and a lot of people that are even looking at going into business for themselves, they'll look at, oh my gosh, how much is it going to cost me to continue to have health insurance for myself and my family? And it's very difficult sometimes to make that decision. I looked at it when I came out of the corporate world, when I was doing consulting, and the insurance was for my family was more than my house payment. It was just crazy, and it had a big impact as for the timing when I went into business for myself. Ended up in the insurance business, and one of the reasons I did was I found that once you got into health insurance, you begin to uncover how the game is actually played. So, for instance, on this one, I have my deal of the week, a family of 5, fantastic coverage for less than $600 a month. They got a health savings account with that that'll provide payments to prescription drugs and so forth. It'll go to $5,000 once it reaches its full benefit thing. And it's extremely inexpensive. A similar plan on what's called, it used to be just called major medical, but now it's called Affordable Care Act or ACA compliant plans, is going to cost you almost double that. And the reason why is when you buy those kind of plans, it's sort of a one size fits all. A quick example is an ACA Affordable Care Act plan will have like a lifetime maximum unlimited. In other words, $1 billion. Well, that's never going to happen. Just doesn't happen. Whereas if you start looking at what your actual needs are, for instance, this particular plan has a lifetime maximum of $5 million. Well, the likelihood of you ever hitting $5 million on your plan, you're pretty much in the hole when that happens. However, that lifetime maximum unlimited, you're paying for that. So what I do is I try and show clients, look, this is what your actual needs are. Let's put together a custom plan. And I work with different companies. So a lot of the plans I work with, I'll take the medical side here. We'll look at a health savings account from another firm that I work with. Perhaps we'll supplement with an accident. And you end up with, in many cases, more coverage in a richer benefit plan than you would if you went with an ACA compliant plan for half the price, and sometimes more than that. So it really pays to work with an independent broker. I'm not captive to any company. I'm looking at new companies all the time. And my goal is to provide an avenue for the self-employed to find ways, in small groups as well, that they can get coverage at a affordable price that's not going to break the bank. And they don't have to worry if they're out skateboarding on the weekend or showing the family how that's done and end up breaking their arm. And it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg, so to speak.
Well, that's good to know, because as much skateboarding as I do, yeah.
Well, I only bring that up because I had a client that did that. He went up to Oklahoma and his kid and his nephews that were out skateboarding, and he was going to show the kids what it was like when he was a skateboarder. He broke his arm.
Well, I definitely do some, pardon the French, dumb shit out there. But speaking of the winter storm that was a month and a half ago, I decided that it would be fun to go sledding down the hill, because being from Chicago, of course, we're like one of the few people in the neighborhood who actually have snow sleds, right? Instead of the cardboard boxes or whatever pans,
laundry baskets.
Yeah, whatever people get creative with, we actually have sleds. So I decided it was a good idea to try that standing up, like trying to surf down. And yeah, to this day, my shoulder still hurts. So I can relate. I probably need to get it looked at. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, what I love about your offering is the fact that it puts the power in your hands as a consumer, and really gives you some choice, and obviously at a very, very much reduced cost versus the ACA plans that are out there.
Right. A lot of times people don't understand that you can negotiate with hospitals, doctors, clinics, and so forth. They just walk in and whatever price there is, that's what they're going to pay. People don't realize that they can negotiate these things. So for instance, there are indemnity plans out there. An indemnity plan basically covers or pays a set amount for a procedure. So let's just say you needed an x-ray. These indemnity plans, one of them, I'll just pick one out of the top of my head here. It pays $250 for an x-ray. Well, this is 150-year-old technology, right? And you need an x-ray done, you go get it done. It's probably going to cost you between $50 and $75. You submit the bill, or even if they're in network, you hand them your card, you still get the $250. These companies don't care. If you can get it cheaper, they'll pay you the difference. It's up to you. So you can actually take complete control of your healthcare costs once you learn to negotiate. Now, if you're not a negotiator, one of the things I include in all my plans, it's a company called Caris 360. They're a professional patient advocacy. They will negotiate your plans for you. As a matter of fact, if you, my son Brent needed a MRI on his knee. He was exercising, at least that's what he said he was doing, and
I know Brent. I don't know about that. I'd have to. have to question that.
Get the real story. But he had a pop in his knee and decided after talking to folks that he should get an MRI. And so he called around and found a place that would do it. And they did it for $450. And I have him on one of my plans. And what was interesting was he called me up about a week later and said, Dad, I don't get it. He said, I got a check here, 2 checks. I got one here for $450 and I got another one here for $450. I don't understand. I said, well, the reason why is the way we structured your plan was $450 will cover the MRI. And the other one is your accident insurance, which would cover anything up to $4,000. So you get paid twice. So not only did he get his MRI covered, but he made money on the deal. Now, I'm not recommending you use this to make money, but the goal is to keep money from coming out of your pocket, not just on the premium side, but when you actually go to use your plan. Because I'm looking at a plan now, an ACA compliant plan, and the deductible for an individual is $7,350. And for the family, it's $14,700. And it's like, rarely do people hit that deductible. So what are you paying for? You're paying all this money per month. Somebody needs something and they go and it's going to cost them a couple of $1,000s. Well, they'll say, yeah, we'll pay 100%. And then it's like after the deductible. Well, you never hit your deductible. And that's why these insurance companies build these gigantic buildings. And I tell you, their executives make a lot of money. And I have to tell you, I mean, just if I sold ACA compliant plans, I would make a lot more money. My commission rate as a broker is the same if I sell an ACA compliant plan for, say, $1,200 a month, or I sell an indemnity type plan that's custom configured for an individual of $600 a month. My commission percentage is the same. But, you know, my goal in life and then where I'm at my stage in life is, you know, I like doing this. Sure, it's nice to have the extra money, but I don't have to make a house payment with it. I don't have a house payment. Of course, I got taxes like everybody else. But I'd rather sell 2, 3 of these other ones and make everybody happy than to go out and try and sell the larger plans, knowing that these people are never going to hit their deductible.
Right. Well, and you know, I think the perfect sell or the perfect trust factor is the fact that you put your son and his family in your own plan, right? So it's not, and I know Brent, so maybe that was, I don't want to be underhanded here because, you know, but I'm just kidding. No, I mean, in seriousness, the fact that you put, you know, your son and his family and your grandson and
soon to be one more.
I was going to say there's one more coming. That's right.
Well, see, it's a double-edged sword because keep in mind, if I sold him a policy that didn't work out real good for him and he got into trouble, guess who's going to end up having to pay?
Yeah, you got to bail him out. That's right.
That's it. I got to bail him out. So no, and he's been very happy with it. It's paid extremely well. You know, you go to the doctor, and in his case, it'd pay $120 for the doctor visit. He goes to in-plan. He hands him the card. The doctor has a negotiated rate with the insurance company of $85. Well, he still gets the difference between the 85 and the 120 sent to him in a check. So far, he's made money on the deal. Now, that's not going to be true all the time. There are going to be times where you got to pay, but most of the time, you end up a lot better off than if you had the large deductible type plan, just because you know, it's so expensive.
Now that makes a lot of sense. And for those who are already in the ACA type plan or the high deductible type plan, I know you've said this before, but I want to make sure people know this, that they can get out of it and get into something different, correct?
Sure, yeah. Insurance is the thing. Like, for instance, they have open enrollment for the ACA, right? And they've extended it, and that's terrific. And there are some people I'll tell them, go to the ACA plan. They've got, you know, horrific pre-existing conditions. ACA takes them. That's the way for them to go. And I don't even get involved with it. I don't even want to write it. I turn it over to, you know, go to healthcare.gov and get stuff taken care of. But by the same token is, you know, there are these plans that, you know, can be made available to them. And they don't have an open enrollment. You can sign up for these anytime you want. Now, insurance is, they call it a one-sided contract. As long as you're making your premiums, they have to, you know, fulfill their end of the bargain, their contract. But you don't have to make payments. You can cancel anytime. And so I have a lot of people, and again, I don't recommend canceling until this other one's in force. But if you find that we can get together and save you a lot of money and put together a plan that more closely fits what your needs are, then you can go ahead and just, cancel the other one. And the best way to do it is just to ask them if they're doing it on an automatic withdrawal. Just ask them to switch it to a paper bill, and then just don't pay it, and it'll expire.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing all that info on what you have, and you can see folks listening and watching. You can see on the bottom of the screen how to get a hold of Greg. But Greg, why don't you give it a verbal just in case people aren't able to look at their screen?
Sure. Call or text me at 214-886-4688. That's my cell phone number. Doesn't matter if it's after hours. Call me. I'm there. You can also go out to my website, which is liberatorhealthinsurance.com. And I'd be more than happy to put together a quote for you. And it takes only a few minutes. I just ask pretty much age, zip code you live in, ask you about any health concerns, and then we kind of get into, what's important to you. Are you more interested in, just going to see a doctor, if you're really healthy and young, or if it's something that you're more interested in. If you, for instance, I've got people that are roofers, and obviously the accident side is very important to them. So we tend to beef that up a little bit more, but we customize it to meet what your specific needs are going to be.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's something you don't get with the big plans either. Greg will hold your hand as much as you want, but that's what he's here for, is to customize to what your needs are, and he'll listen to that and get you what you need. So awesome. Well, again, thanks, Greg, for coming on and
Sure.
talking about a great alternative to the big boy plans out there. Hang around on the show, please.
Will do.
We can banter a bit more here. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to bring in our special guest of the day, and that is Miss Julie Gregorosh. Julie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Brian?
I am doing fantastic.
Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on. I said in the opening of the show, we met each other through a networking group that we're part of, a regular Master Networks chapter that we're a part of on Tuesday mornings in Frisco. So if anybody's interested in joining that, we do have plenty of seats open, and it is a wonderful group. One of our members is Julie, and that's why I wanted to have her on the show today. We did a face-to-face, about 3 weeks ago or so?
Yeah.
We had previous ones as well, but during this one was especially eye-opening for me, in that you were able to very quickly pull together an analysis on my business. And when I say analysis, there's analytics that you have as part of Thrive that really kind of teased out the status of kind of my online presence, my ratings, there's a lot of different metrics that you were able to tease out very quickly. And I thought that was really, like I said, eye-opening. So we'll get into some of that. We're going to share some of that in a bit here. But Julie, what I'd like you to do is just, for our audience, just tell us, how you got into the business with Thrive, and some of your background, and what makes Julie tick, right?
A clock, tick-tock. I'm actually a Youper. I don't know if anyone knows what that is, but a Youper is from Upper Michigan. A lot of the different news stations will forget to put that on the map when they show you Michigan. We're actually almost to Canada.
You're that little part of Michigan that is like the
bit.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Way at the top. I grew up right at Lake Michigan, so it was a beautiful place to grow up. But my husband joined the military, and so we traveled all over, and I did sales almost everywhere I went just because I could bring it with me everywhere and keep a job. So when I got to Texas, this was available. I've been here for about 13 years with Thrive. When I started, it was Dex, and then we bought Super Pages, and then we bought YP, and then we went ahead and changed our name to Thrive because we were actually 4 businesses all in one. So we did everything from the phone book, people calling me saying, please help me, I can't miss the date, it will ruin my business, to today, phone books aren't so relevant. Although, one of the people that is a plumber in the area, in 1 week, got over 1,570 phone calls from the phone book. They have a tracking line on it. So that still is a really good place for homeowners to find you. and you to get probably the best ROI you're ever going to get on a business. And then, of course, Thrive, we create simple software to manage it and help your customers interact with you when you're closed, and make sure that they can make payments quickly, that you can also stay in touch with them and keep that business going so you have a lifetime value. So that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, so you've been in Dallas area for 13 years, which, as with a husband in the military, that's probably the longest you've lived in a certain location for more than, I mean, that's got to be the longest by far, right?
Well, he actually retired, so we've been there about 25 years. I've been with Thrive about 13.
Okay.
I was a manager at Sam's for quite a while, and I just really wanted to be outside in the public. I'd rather go help the businesses that we were helping inside the Sam's and go out and actually visit with them and see if I can give them better prospects of way to get leads and manage their business.
No, that's awesome. And so you're part of our, we're part of the same Master Networks chapter, which is always entertaining, because any given week we can have mostly males. Like we've joked around, like you've been the only female in the room sometimes. We do have quite a few females in the group, but it's always kind of a joke that Julie's able to hang with the fellas if she's ever caught in that situation in the group.
I sold cars for 13 years, so trust me, I can hang with just about anybody.
Yeah, and with a military husband, it makes sense. It makes sense. No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing a bit of your background, Julie. What I'd like to do before we get into some of the detail analytics that I was able to see that you provided, I do want to give some time to our other sponsors. So Lennon, if you don't mind, if you can pop up. All right, there we go. We've got Carrie first. So Carrie Cook is one of our husband-wife sponsors. Obviously, she's the wife portion of that. Her and her husband Daniel, they're in the real estate and roofing businesses. Carrie is with the Cavalier Realty Group with Keller Williams. If you've been living under a rock for the last, year and a half, 2 years, certainly the last 6 months, and hyper certainly the last 2 months, the real estate market is absolutely insane. So if you have any inkling of or thought of potentially selling your home, Carrie would love to talk to you. Carrie is fantastic. She is very client-oriented, understands your needs first and foremost. She will be happy to talk to you, run a comparative market analysis for you. Again, home values are just skyrocketing in the area here nationwide, but especially in the DFW area. With the job market continuing to grow down here, their demand remains strong and the supply is very limited right now. So if you're thinking about selling, look up Carrie Cook with the Cavalier Realty Group, 972-342-5763. And then her husband, Daniel Cook, is the face of the franchise for Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. Carrie is also involved on the back end in keeping Daniel online. That's probably her biggest job. But joking aside, Daniel is a fantastic business owner, and more importantly, a representative for his clients. We're in hail season now in Texas. We've already had a couple smaller storms blow through, and there will no doubt be more as the spring progresses here. So this is a great number to keep handy. Daniel will come out to your property for free, take a look at the property, take a look at your roof. He'll hop up on your roof and give you an honest assessment as to what the damage or lack of damage, frankly, will be on your roof. There's plenty of companies that when there is a hailstorm, they're going to come from out of state, hop up in your roof unannounced, unasked, put you guys in jeopardy as a homeowner as far as liability goes. Daniel doesn't operate that way. He will give you an honest answer as to whether or not you need a new roof or don't want to go down that path with your insurance company. So they don't only do roofs, they do other restoration projects as well. But please, if you have any question of the condition of your roof, especially after a hailstorm, keep this number handy, 1-833-COOK-DFW, or keep his website on your favorites there, www.cookdfw.com. All right. So thanks to those guys for being our loyal sponsors. They're not only great business owners, they're great people. So again, if you have a real estate need for sales, either a buy or a sell or a roofing need, look up the Cooks. They're awesome. All right, Julie,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit more about, what services you offer with Thrive. And before we do that, I want to just kind of give a shout out to you. When I first met you, rather than tell me all your services and the things that you can offer, you were very much approached me as a business coach, right? Any sort of need that I have, whether it's something that Thrive can do or not, you had that approach to people, which really was eye-opening to me, because you weren't just selling a service. You were honestly and wholeheartedly just offering to help. And that's really what attracted me to you, as far as, a business owner and somebody who looks out for their partners. So I did want to say that before we did get into the detail. But that being said, tell us what Thrive has to offer and what you can do for, your key clients and prospective clients.
We offer everything from doing an analysis for you at no charge, and I'll show you what that'll look like in just a minute. But we also offer a CRM package that is an app on your phone that will do invoicing, estimates, take credit card payments. You can schedule your social media up to a year in advance on the system. You can manage all of your posts and add pictures. You can add videos. We come out and do videos of your business, 30 second, 16 second, 60 second. We place them on YouTube. We also bring in leads based on artificial intelligence. So we know that if somebody has gone to your website a few times and they've clicked around and they just haven't been there long enough, we will go ahead and try to put your business up, whether it's on YouTube or Yelp or Facebook or Google, wherever we can try to get you somebody to give you a phone call or send you a chat as far as a comment. And of course, we also offer chat boxes with some of our Thrive leads. And the last thing we offer, which is not the littlest, but it is our print. So we also print your phone directories and do your online listings with YP.com. So that's a great place for you to be too.
Awesome. Yeah. So the breadth of services that you guys offer is fantastic. And you mentioned, you offer free business analytics or assessment, I guess is probably the right word, a free business assessment for anybody who's interested, which again, I wasn't aware of until we sat down and you brought all kinds of awesome data in front of me. And like I said, it was pretty eye-opening for me. I was joking around before we jumped on stage here. Julie, I don't know if she was just, buttering me up, but she said, when she ran the analytics on Real Property Management Focus, she said, most companies don't score as high as yours on these rankings. So I hurt my shoulder sledding, like I was talking about before, but I think I exacerbated by patting myself on the back, after our call. But no, all joking aside, I think you've got some examples of what it's going to look like. So I'll let you cue that up as far as sharing your screen goes. But before it gets up, I think it takes a bit of time to queue up. What this basically is for folks listening. Julie's able to pretty quickly pull your internet presence, your website presence, your ratings across all the major different websites, whether it be a Google business page, your actual website, all the listing sites that your business is listed on, or more importantly, not listed on. It identifies those gaps and really puts a spotlight on those so you can quickly close those and really just helps you be a better marketer for your company, whether it be online or in many of the different spaces that Thrive plays, but also just on the internet. So that's kind of what Julie's analytics tease out relatively quickly, right? We spent
Pretty quick.
about 15 minutes, I think, going through the numbers, and obviously once you identify a few gaps, there's a bunch of layers of the onion to peel back, for an old school dumb analogy, but it really does allow you to kind of tackle those problem areas pretty quickly. So, all right, it looks like we've got it up on the screen. So what are we looking at, Julie?
So right here is just a quick business analysis, and I'll just go over it very briefly. But Brian was nice enough to let me use his business, and like you see, it's 76 out of 100, which is really pretty good. And so it all is
real
based
quick
off,
on that, Julie. Sure. I was never happy with a 76 on a test or a homework grade in school. But after listening to how you kind of prefaced it in your scoring metric, I felt a little bit better about it.
And you should. And you should.
Good. All right.
So you can see this is the name of his business and his address. And we're going to look at it, the reputation, the presence, and his outreach. So if we go ahead and just look down here, you can see his reputation out of 100 is 80, which is extremely good. His reviews, this right here, I really challenge everybody to get reviews on all of the people that do business with you, at least 30%. So when you look at your business, if you look on Google or you look on Yelp or wherever you can find your reviews, and you service 50 people a week and you only have one review, you need to work on it, because reviews really drive traffic. And so you can see, Brian, that's where you're having a little issue. You need more reviews.
Yep. And when I joked around about patting myself on the back, as a business owner and as a person, I'm always looking for areas to improve in, right? And anybody who's hip to any sort of online presence knows reviews are essential, right?
Absolutely.
There's nothing. Well, I shouldn't say there's nothing, but it's one of the biggest drivers of your make or break presence online. So despite the fact that I know that, I also know that I'm not actively pursuing reviews as much and as well as I should. So the fact that fell out as one of my opportunity areas isn't surprising, but it's my own little kick in the ass to say, yeah, get back out there and make sure that you're asking people for reviews.
And you can easily grab the link from your Google review and just send it to somebody on a text and say, hey, would you mind clicking here to give me a review? They're going to have to log into their Google account to give you that review. And so that is an immediate review. We also offer what's called a first party review, which most of the people can't remember their passwords. They don't want to have to log into it, etc. And so your review then is called a first party review. And you see those sometimes under Google that just has stars with comments. So you get a box with 5-star options and then a box to put comments with no login, which is a big deal because some people just refuse to log in. They don't mind giving you a review. They just don't want to log in. So you can see if Brian got more reviews and he had one that was a bad 1-star, he would drop to a 4.3 instead of where he is at a 5. So getting another one at a 5 is just going to keep him at a 5. So he has some really good reviews out there. We could even go as far as when I do this with you, I can show you where the reviews come from, whether they come from Yelp or YP or Google. This right here is his website. And our product does come with up to a 15-page website on 2 of our products. And you can see he really has a really good green score all through here. So his build is really good. And if he wanted to, he could actually look at the analytics that I gave him and see exactly what could possibly be changed. But he has really good stuff. One of the things most of my customers are now looking at is called an SSL. And that is a security license on your website. So when you see your website, it should say the HTTPS. If it doesn't, it'll say this website's unsecure. And if Google has you and your competitor to choose from, they're normally going to choose a secure site. Inexpensive to do. It should be done no matter what. The other thing is when you look at your Google, everybody has their Google business most of the time, but they don't have it attached to the back of their website. So Brian did a great job in having his Google business attached. And you also can publish posts on your Google My Business on your map area, just like you do on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those things. So keep that updated. And then this is a real bread and butter. So this is his name, his address, and his location, and how his name is spelt. I have a lot of businesses who don't have, they probably have 97% listing inaccuracy. Brian only has 16, but he's not being found on Yelp, not being found on Bing. But then you can see all the different places where he is found. And you can look here to see exactly, I don't know if this is going to pull over, so I'm going to go back. But you can click on the links when I visit with you to see exactly what those listing sites look like. And as you can see, there's about 70 different listing sites that we help you manage and keep updated. In the event that you want to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to. But anytime you update your profile with us, it updates all these other listing sites. So that is what a business analysis looks like. I do have one other thing I wanted to share real quick. I'm just going to bring it up. And it is when you have people look at how businesses are doing business with you today. Get back here and share my screen. Sorry, it'll take me just a second. Can you see my screen okay?
Not yet.
Not yet.
And it's going to talk about awareness of how your business is having awareness and consideration. So I don't know.
It's still not up.
Thinking. Okay, let me go ahead and try it one more time. I apologize. Let's see.
No worries. There it is. It's coming up now.
I see it.
Okay, good. Good. This is, we consider this to be the backbone of your business, and everyone searches differently. So even though you think that maybe things look good on your end, take a look at some things that you might be able to integrate into your business, making sure that your business, is getting the awareness that it needs out there as far as being able to be a consideration. And then once you are a consideration, are you easy to do business with? Can people purchase or get in touch with you or schedule at 7 o'clock at night? Because most of the time people are home as families and they're like, hey, did you go ahead and call the roofer for an inspection? Oh, not yet. I'll do it tomorrow. Well, it's a lot easier if somebody says, hey, by the way, click here to schedule, because they're going to do it right then. And they're not going to keep calling because they know somebody's going to give them a call or stay in contact. And then, of course, once you do the service and you do the follow-up reminders, the biggest thing is keeping that loyalty. You spent a lot of money and time in getting your customer. And how do you go ahead and keep them coming back and referring you and making sure that you get their advocacy on how to keep the business running? So this is a way to go ahead and just kind of keep in mind of what's best to keep your business up and going. So that is some of the things that we offer.
Awesome. And I know that when we spoke, there's other services outside of just the analytics piece that you guys offer as well. I know you do website hosting. You do, I think, even accounts payable management, or at least you dial into whatever your current provider is. So, I may be misrepresenting some of this, so I'll ask you to go a little bit deeper. But I know it really served as an integration platform. More so than anything else, because when we talked about it from a property management standpoint, I have a lot of software packages that we use. So AppFolio is kind of our back office backbone software. I've got payroll services. I've got various different other services that I know you've got the capability to either work with or in some cases replace where it makes sense, some of those services. So talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Sure. A lot of people will go ahead and use Hootsuite, and then they go for their emails, and they'll also have a chat or a text blast system that they're using. And so when you go ahead and you look at your social media, being able to have a platform, you can post on up to 5 different items: your Facebook, your Google My Business, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can do all of that within your software. So rather than purchasing one of the sites that you can manage it, it comes into your software with Thrive. And we give you over 500,000 posts to choose from so that you don't always have to recreate the wheel. Sometimes we get bored. It's like, what do you say? So it gives you some ideas of what to say, how people like those posts in the past. And then it also will go ahead and allow you to use the services for payment processing. So people can click on the link that you send them and make a payment right there. And you can either pay in full or you can let them pay in portions of it. It also goes ahead and updates all your listings. It does your invoicing, your estimates, and we do integrate with a lot of different businesses. So we integrate software. One of the big ones, of course, is QuickBooks. So if you're using QuickBooks and somebody makes a payment, if you put it in QuickBooks, it can automatically talk to your Thrive and say, hey, you've gotten a payment over here. So it can trigger that review request and that appointment reminder and all the things that go with it. So there's a lot of ways to use Thrive, and it's like an iPhone. You use which pieces that are good for you. You don't necessarily use them all. They're all there if you want to. We have a 24-hour service, which is one of our best features. You can call any time of the day or night and get a live person to talk with you. You can also schedule an appointment that works best, or chat, or watch a video tutorial, or you can call your rep. I mean, any of us are happy to go ahead and walk through it with you. But I have a lot of businesses that have used it, small businesses, and then I have larger businesses. So I have everything from one person at a business to 100 people at a business using it, from anywhere from a house cleaner to an attorney to a dentist. We are HIPAA approved, so if you want the HIPAA portion, we do HIPAA. We have client portals, so the customers can see when was their last appointment, how much did they spend, did they have an appraisal maybe, and that appraisal, they can actually see that document within their client portal without calling you. You know, if you're an eye doctor, how many times somebody call and say, can you send my prescription? They can go ahead go into their portal and see exactly what their prescription is. So those are some of the things we do.
Well, and we talked about it earlier. You know, we've got an opportunity here to build out your health insurance salesman platform as well, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, we got to get you and Greg talking to figure out how to integrate that.
The biggest thing is I find a lot of people do estimates all day long and they're chasing themselves, and they don't really have a system as far as they've given out 50 estimates, but they don't realize 49 of them have not said yes. This gives you the ability to see exactly who you've given estimates to and quickly remind them, send them a reminder, give them a call, put a note in, whatever it takes to be able to know who you did that with, rather than next week saying, who did I give estimates to? It's all right there.
Well, yeah, and I think being a small business owner, that efficiency and the automation. So there's a fine balance between over automation, where every message sounds like it's pre-canned and it goes out from your CRM software, to the other end of the spectrum where you're exactly what you said. Who did I talk to? Who do I need to follow up with? So that finding that balance has been important and difficult challenge for me personally, because I do like to have that personal touch on things, but at the same time, there is so many balls in the air and so many people you're talking to, whether that they're referral partners or potential clients. On my side, I've got my primary client is my homeowner and investor, but at the same time, I have tenants that I need to make sure that they're taken care of as well. So there's a lot of balls in the air. And I found it, whatever you can make as efficient as possible just helps you be a better business owner, better person, better performer, right?
Absolutely. The other thing is, if you ever look to sell your business, most people are not going to say, I want your notebook. I mean, what do they get? They don't even know. So if you have a software system, whether it's ours or someone else's, exactly, Brian, if you have a software system with the name of your customers in it or clients, their address, how much did they spend? What's the value of that customer, the lifetime value? Your business has just really increased in what you should be able to sell it for, because you're really giving them a lot of valuable information.
Right. You can't sell your personality. Well, you can sell your personality, just not in a business setting usually. But but yeah, no, data is what's important, right? And organized data. So yeah, that's how you can value a business. That's a great point. Awesome. Well, we were talking earlier about what you have coming up, and I know you mentioned that you have a special offer. So I want to make sure that you socialize that to the audience and really give them an opportunity to let you do some analytics and let them kick the tires on your business a little bit. So tell us about that.
The nice thing is there's no cost. I mean, it's very simple. If you want to give me a call, we'll schedule an appointment, and my mobile is 254-624-6010. And what we'll do is I'll make sure that all of your business information is correct in my screen. We will then go through it, take a look at it, see where you're being found, take a look at your business itself. Are you on page 6 of Google or page 3? Show you how some listing sites might help you be on page 1. And I'm happy to do that for anybody at no additional cost. Also, our Thrive right now, which is our CRM platform, which comes with all those different avenues from social media estimates, payments, all of your text blast, etc. That particular product right now, we have a special where the first month is no charge, and it's to the end of April. So you also have a setup fee that is refunded to you if you use the software in the first 14 days. So really, you have the first month free, and the setup fee is refunded to you. So it's a really good way to get started.
That's fantastic. No, thanks for sharing that. And folks listening, jump on that. Free is good, and it can improve your business. So
happy to do it.
Awesome. I know you are, and that's part of the reason we have you on today, because you are always eager and willing to help out other business owners. So again, thanks for coming on the show today and sharing all that information. I hope it's beneficial to you, and I know it can be beneficial to the audience. So
I appreciate the time.
For sure. Awesome. Well, we are getting tight on time here. Lyndon said I was the man of the hour. I don't know about the man part, but the hour is almost up. So before we do go, though, I do want to make sure that I mention this. I meant to do it up front when we were talking the real estate portion. We've socialized this a bit on the show. We've done these seminars in the past, and we recently have 2 new ones booked. So the seminar that I'm talking about, it's called Building Wealth Through Real Estate. And really what it is anybody who has $100,000 to $150,000 or more of equity in their current home that they live in. We have a team of folks that have been putting on these seminars to help folks understand that it's not difficult to get into the real estate investing game, especially when you have a team of people that can help you, guide you along the way, avoid the pitfalls that many do-it-yourself real estate investors may fall into, which can end up being very costly. So Brian Dobbs, who's a partner of mine, he's been on the show. He's part of The Difference. Used to have his own show, but still does guest appearances quite often. He is one of my business partners on this effort. So the Building Wealth Through Real Estate seminar, let me give you the dates coming up here. We are booked for April 22nd. When I say booked, it means we have the venue booked. We have plenty of room available. That is at Jake's Burgers and Beer in downtown Frisco, right across the street from Toyota Park and the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame. That will be from 6 to 8 p.m. There is absolutely no charge. It's free education, free appetizers, maybe some free beverages, perhaps, but no obligations. It's truly just an educational opportunity. And then if you are interested in pursuing something in the real estate investment realm, we are happy to set up a free consultation after that with the team of folks at the seminar to understand what your needs are, what you're looking for, what your goals are, and really craft and work with you to formulate a plan to get there. So that one, again, is April 22nd. It's a Thursday at Jake's Burgers and Beer, 6 to 8 p.m., downtown Frisco. The one after that is Tuesday, April 27th. So it's the following week on Tuesday, the 27th. This one's going to be at Love and War in Texas. It's from what I understand, a very cool restaurant that I have not yet been to. So I'm looking forward to, at the very least, enjoying the venue. But again, it's called Love and War in Texas. It's basically a Plano Parkway and 75 in Plano. Same time, 6 to 8 p.m. So come on out. Like I said, no obligations, no cost, free education. If nothing else, you'll leave with a full stomach and hopefully a fuller mind. So that is it on the seminar topic. Again, I want to thank our guest today, our sponsor, Greg Holberg, for coming on and giving us a little deeper understanding on the health insurance offerings. Greg, thank you for being on. Look forward to having you on more coming up in the future. Julie, again, thank you for spending the hour with us and educating us on what you have to offer. Look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Lyndon, as always, thanks for everything you do with The Difference. Couldn't do any of this without you, and look forward to growing that audience.
Thank you, Brian.
In many other shows, we had over 500,000 views last year, and we're looking to more than double that this year. So awesome growth on The Difference, awesome stuff you're doing across the platform. So I thank you for that. I don't know if you've got the free trip giveaway spot handy, but if you put that information up there, this is how you can earn a free trip. Basically, call me. Let's sit down and talk. Let's understand what your needs are or what your goals are as a real estate investor. All it is a free, no obligation discussion with me, and you will earn a free airfare and a hotel for 2 nights hotel and round trip for 2 airfare to anywhere, I believe, in the continental U.S. So
that's right. And it's not a timeshare or anything like that. So this is, it's not where you have to go sit and listen to some boring person talk for 30 minutes and then ask you for $100 million.
That's right. You've already listened to this boring person talk for the last hour. So
I was going to say that, but I
I'm
gave
not
you
going
a
to
break.
subject you to any more boring talk, right? Awesome. Well, that'll do it for today. Again, thanks, guys, for being on the show. And we will see everybody next Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. Until then, see y'all later.